Hey people, Mike Martins here with the Mike Martins channel. Today I want to share with you guys my experience of applying for an American green card. Wasn't applying for citizenship, just a green card to create a path to citizenship to stay and live in America. Mind you, this happened back in 2002, 2003. And I don't know what's changed since then, or I don't know how things have changed, or what laws or improvements have been made. But I want to tell you my experience of applying for American citizenship and what I had to go through and the outcome at the end. So I had a company that was very interested in hiring me down in South Florida, and I was supposed to be a director for two major production facilities. I have the power of negotiation as being a Portuguese. I'm a Portuguese Canadian dual citizen, two citizenships. And I have the power of language. So I speak Portuguese fluently, read and write, Spanish fluently, read and write, and English, of course. And there was a company very interested in me, and I went down, visited them, had a discussion, and they said, "Okay, we want you. I'll get my lawyer to start getting all the paperwork done. We'll start getting everything we need to get done to get you here." And because things in Canada already in 2002, 2003, where I was living with my parents at that time, and I was in my early 20s, they were already paying five, six, $7,000 a year in property tax. The cost of anything was getting way out of reach, and I was noticing that the average wage earner couldn't breathe, couldn't live. And then we started going to descending towards low interest rates and stuff, but I'm not going to get into that right now. So I said, I love Florida. I've been there. I visited it many times. I know it well. I know the landscape. I know the people, the culture. I could fit in. I could fit in very nicely. I could contribute and potentially create more jobs through different scenarios. Right, having side hustles and everything. Very easy in America to have a side hustle. Very easy in America to make the green if you really want to. Right. So I go down there, apply do all the paperwork. I get a lawyer. So on my part, I said I'm going to pay the lawyer to do all the paperwork and stuff. So the first round, they had to actually put articles for 6 months in newspapers, on internet, all over South Florida, to make sure I wasn't stealing an American's job. That's the first thing they had to do. And I'm like, okay. So we did that. We sent articles. Nobody applied for the job. And it's not because they misrepresented the position or anything. Nobody cared for the position. For 6 months, I think they got one applicant, and then one applicant thought it was for something else. Okay. So there it is right there. So I had to pay like an ad for 6 months first before I did anything to make sure I wasn't stealing an American's job. And then from there, I went to do other paperwork. So they had to do references, reference checks, past employment and all that. So I did all that. I sent them I think I had to send them like proof of I'm not avoiding taxes in Canada. So I did all that. And then 3, 6, 8, 9 months later go by. So this is 2 years into the paperwork. They basically tell me, now we're going to do this. We're going to have to do a criminal background check through the RCMP. We need you to send us a clean abstract and this and that for whatever. So I did all that. Then another year goes by. They get back to me and they say, okay, now what we're going to do is we need you to do a health and physical and all that stuff. So I did all that. And then final interview. So I go in. So I had to go to an office in Canada, the American consulate. There was a time and everything. I went. Lady saw me and said, I read your file. Everything seems good. But unfortunately, we're just not taking your kind right now. You could apply in 5 years. And she closed the file. And I said, that's it? She's like, yeah, apply in 5 years. Now, I'm not mad about that. I'm not mad about that at all. I'm just upset the amount of work and legwork and money that went in. And the employer was livid down in South Florida. So that is a major, major issue um, when applying to the United States. So somebody wrote to me and said, Mike, what are you still doing in Canada? Well, going to Portugal right now, I don't know if it's a good move right now. I'm not sure what to do when it comes to that. If it's even doable, right now, I don't know. But a lot of people are asking, Mike, why are you in Canada? Well, there's really nowhere for Canadians to go. Like Canadians, people that are like have been living here, built the infrastructure. My dad worked on the infrastructure. My dad worked on the Sky Dome and the Air Canada Center. My dad worked his butt off, pretty much killed himself to death here in Canada. And but what I'm trying to say is that there really isn't much options of countries that would take in Canadians if they decide to move. So a lot of people are asking, why is Mike still in Canada? What's he? I've already tried to leave Canada. I have. So now, with all the regulations to get out of the country, it's going to make it even more complex. So I just want you guys to know that I have tried. I've spent thousands of dollars on lawyers. I've done everything by the book. I've done everything that was asked of me to do. And I didn't reapply 5 years later. I didn't want to bother because I was in fear that the country of the United States wasn't looking for people like myself. I think they were looking for other potential talent or somebody of more importance than me, right? And that's it. That's it. Moved on. It's their country. They make the choices, right? Just like Canada, in 2007 and 8, they deported tens of thousands, scores of Portuguese families were deported, right? You can't find nothing on the news about that, even though it was a big event that was happening, where Portuguese were promised permanent path to citizenship if they came to work in the short labor market in Canada in 2003, 4, 5, and 7, all the way up, and then they started deporting them when the housing started to go south in 07, 08. But they don't talk about that. You see what I'm saying? So there's a lot of things that are happening, a lot of patterns of things that are happening. And the reason why I've stayed in Canada is because I can't leave it. So legally, right? Portugal is the only other option. I'm a citizen. So that's something, maybe move back to the Azores. We'll see what happens with that. I don't know. But for now, I'm sitting put. I'm in the interior of BC. I got the view of the mountains. I got fresh water. Everything seems to be okay this year. We had to deal with forest fires last year, and we had to deal with floods last year. And then we had what I'm talking about with all the BS that happened in the last couple of years. So, what can I do? There's nothing I could do. There's nothing. It's out of my power when it comes to. It's not just pick up and go, and you're good to go. Unfortunately, it doesn't work like that. I wish it did in a way. But unfortunately, open borders only work or are specifically targeted for different people, I guess. That's what I'm guessing here. Anyways, that's my experience and my thing with, I love the American culture. I really wanted to be an American before I died. And this was the mentality of in my early 20s. I want to be an American before I die. At least I want to feel how it is to be free, or feel how it is to really do what you want in life and make it, But I was never given the American dream, right? Given the chance of the American dream. Here in Canada, I was living in Vancouver. The cost of food was costing more than my rent, so I made a choice to move into the interior where I live here now, and I had a bit of money, so I just bought my house free and clear. Now my house has gone up $600,000 in the last 5 years, and my property taxes are basically matching what it would cost in a big city. So that's becoming. So you see where I'm going. There's almost like it's coming for us, right? It's coming. It's all coming. The shortages, the food shortages, all the stuff we've been talking about for the last 10 years on this channel, right? To sell out to the highest bidders, right? And that's, if Canada wasn't competing for money launderers and money placement, I think Canada would be a completely different country. If Canada had honest and transparent leadership, I think Canada would be a completely different country. If Canada protected its borders and Canada actually protected its citizens so they could afford to have kids. See, most people locally, most Canadians or European descendants here in Canada don't have kids because they can't afford it. right? So if they protected the basics, right, and stopped criminals from doing what they do, we wouldn't be in this situation here in Canada today. It would be a completely different landscape of a country. But since Canada closed European immigration in 1993 and made it impossible, but they bring them in for labor workers, but then they kick them out when they don't need them, like they did the Portuguese. So that's a big issue. That's a really big issue for me, and it's something that I'm going to take to my grave. It's something that I won't let go. You know what I'm saying? So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. That was my attempt at the American dream, and I failed. Look forward to reading your comments below. Have you had similar incidences trying to immigrate to another country? And if you had, to let us know in the comments below. Mike Martin's here. I have spoken.